Hey, what's going on guys? My name is Matthew from MLC Tech here, and today we're going to be discussing ultra-wide monitors, in particular a question that I've been asked quite a lot recently when I've unveiled my current monitor setup, and that was 34-inch ultra-wides versus 38-inch ultra-wides. What's the difference? What ultra-wide monitor should I go for? And what ultra-wide monitor is best for you in terms of screen size, resolution, panel types and refresh rates. All of that is going to be discussed in today's video, so let's jump straight into it. So, ultra-wide monitors have become very popular among PC gamers. In fact, it's a very popular form factor not only for gaming, but for also productivity as well, due to having that increased screen real estate. The more traditional ultra-wide monitor, which we're going to be mainly discussing today, is the 21:9 aspect ratio, which is currently what I am rocking myself. There's also the new super ultra-wide form factors, which is 32:9, which the main benefits of having an ultra-wide monitor is that increased screen real estate, which can be great for extra productivity, being able to multitask a lot better by having to tab a lot more windows and stack windows together. And also, if you like, for example, video editing, you can spread out your workspace a lot more, so you have that extra screen real estate, which can be super handy for multitasking and also productivity as well. Another reason why someone might want an ultra-wide monitor is due to gaming. Now, most ultra-wide gaming monitors tend to be 21:9 and have a slight curvature, and in games that extra screen real estate can really make for a much more immersive gameplay experience. So they're the reasons why someone might choose an ultra-wide form factor over the traditional 16:9. And if you're someone who wants extra screen real estate and extra immersion in your games, then you can buy a 32:9 super ultra-wide monitor, which personally is too wide for me. In terms of my current desk setup, just having that big of a monitor just wouldn't work for me personally. So in 21:9 aspect ratio monitors, there are all sorts of different shapes, screen sizes and resolutions of panel types you can get. You can start off really small by getting 25-inch ultra-wide monitors, which in my opinion are too small, and the more traditional ultra-wide monitors you'll see on the market is the 34-inch ultra-wide. That tends to be the sweet spot. To give you a rough idea of the size of a 34-inch monitor, think of it as the same height as a 16:9 27-inch monitor, but in terms of width, it's about a third wider in terms of width. So that will give you a rough idea of just how big a 34-inch monitor is. And they can come in all sorts of different resolutions. The main ones we're going to be focused on is 1080p and also 1440p. They're the two main resolutions that you will see out on the market. Yes, there are currently pushes from the likes of LG and Samsung for even high resolution 4K, 5K ultra-wide monitors, but they're not really commonplace in the market for the screen size just yet. And it's also good to note there are two different types of shapes you can get on these monitors as well. The two form factors that you need to look at for is either flat screen or curved screen. Now, in my personal opinion, for a desk setup where you're sitting at the desk and you're right in the monitor, I would recommend a curved monitor due to that slight curvature. Yes, it's slight, but it makes all the difference personally when you're sitting right in front of the screen. It gives you more immersion opposed to a flat screen panel, which is better if you're, wanting to view it from multiple viewing angles, but the main idea of a monitor is you're going to be sitting right in front of it. So a slight curvature is nice to have. Then we got to talk about different panel types you can get. There are all sorts of different panel types you can get on monitors. That could be from the cheaper ones, which uses a TN panel, which TN panels are great in terms of their response time for gaming and also the cost as well associated with it. Though in terms of viewing angles and color accuracy, TN panels are not great at all. You get what you pay for, I suppose. The other more budget-oriented types of panels are the likes of a VA panel, which similar to TN panels, but they're just a bit better and not quite as bad. But ones I would aim for is IPS. Now, IPS, in-plane switching technology, offers much better color accuracy and also much better viewing angles. Traditionally, on cheaper monitors, IPS panels tend to have low refresh rates and also high response times. But on more expensive IPS panels, we've seen the likes of, for example, my current panel I'm using, it's 144 1 millisecond IPS panel, which that's what you want for gaming, though you do pay a pretty penny in order to get that. So if you're on a budget, it depends really what your use case is. If you're someone who's more of a creative type, I recommend you putting money into an IPS panel, not strictly a full-on gaming IPS panel, but if you want that color accuracy, I would recommend you take an IPS, even a 60Hz IPS panel, over a 144Hz TN panel any day. If you're someone who does graphic design work, video production work, I would recommend that any day. But if you're someone who's on a budget as well and prefers gaming and is only interested in gaming, then I would recommend possibly going up for a high refresh rate monitor if you're on a cheap budget. But if you're a gamer like me who likes the top end stuff and you have a bit of budget to play around with, I would definitely recommend looking at a gaming monitor such as, let's say, the LG Ultra Gear range, or for example the Samsung G series, which are also pretty good in terms of game monitors, in terms of that balance between IPS QLED technology and also refresh rates and response times as well. So what am I currently using for my all-in-one gaming monitor? Well, as you can currently see, there's two monitors behind me, and you're thinking, how come you're using two ultrawide monitors? Well, I'm not using two ultrawide monitors. I just put both monitors behind me just for the sake of the video. Behind me is actually my old monitor, which I did have to replace because I broke in transport. So the screen is dead behind me. So that's why I've got a new monitor at the moment. But behind me is a Samsung 34-inch ultrawide. It's a 1440p 100Hz monitor. It does the job. It's good for productivity. It's a QLED panel. Yeah, it's pretty good, and if you can get it on sale like I once did, it's a panel I definitely recommend. It's not a full-on gaming panel. It's a good mix between productivity and also gaming for a reasonable price. You can pick up this on sale for around £450, though that's only on sale prices. Usually this retails for around £700 direct from Samsung, though if you can get it on flash sale, it's definitely worth picking up. Which brings me on to my current monitor. What am I currently using? Behind me is the LG GN-GL950-B, which is essentially the king of gaming monitors at the moment. Why do I say this? Well, of course, it costs a lot of money. A panel like this will set you back around £1,600 if you were to buy one at full price. But it features 144Hz nano cell IPS technology with a 1 millisecond response time, which means you're getting the colour accuracy and the colour vibrance and viewing angles of an IPS panel, but also with the refresh rates, response times of a full gaming panel, which is excellent because I'm someone who likes to do loads of gaming. I love high refresh rates. I love doing loads of gaming. I need that low response time because sometimes I can get quite competitive in especially first-person shooters such as Counter-Strike and other first-person shooters especially. And I'm also someone who likes to do a lot of graphics work, video production work, and just a lot of creative work. So having the reliability of an IPS panel for colour reproduction is quite good as well. Now, this isn't going to be as colour accurate as a full-blown professional use case monitor, which is going to have even better colour accuracy, though for a monitor that can do it all, I'm pretty impressed so far. Which leads us to the question of today's video of 34-inch versus 38-inch ultrawides. Now, there is 35-inch ultrawide as well, but we're not going to discuss that today because there is currently a push for ultrawide monitors to go even bigger. We've seen recently Dell release 40-inch ultrawide monitors, which is even bigger, but at the moment, LG's making the big push for the 38-inch screen size, and also a lot of manufacturers are going 38, 40 inches. Well, the reason why I chose a 38-inch over a 34-inch again is because I came from a 28-inch 16:9 monitor, which that screen height I sort of miss on the, even though it's just an inch smaller than the screen height on the 34. I just missed that, and I just wanted something with a bit more height in terms of screen real estate, and also that gives me a bit of extra real estate in diagonal dimension as well. It's not something that's going to make a big impact, and if I was to go between a 34-inch and a 38-inch ultrawide, it probably wouldn't make too much of a difference for me, and you're not missing out on a whole lot. It's just, if you have the extra budget, it's just nice to have that little bit extra screen real estate. But it's not an essential, and it's not something that I would recommend you spend loads of extra money on. But it's important to note, my monitor is a 1600p opposed to a 1440p, which LG's done this because, yes, it's a higher resolution, but at the screen size, it's the same pixel density as a 34-inch ultra-wide 1440p monitor. So you're still getting that same pixel density, it's just a slightly bigger screen. But if I was to switch between a 38-inch and a 34-inch ultra-wide monitor, I probably wouldn't tell the difference, and I will get on just as well. Which screen size do I think you should go for? Well, that depends on what sort of person you are, what sort of use case you have, and most importantly, what sort of budget you have. Yes, of course, it's nice to have, and I would recommend, of course, the more expensive one. Yes, it's easy to say, well, I recommend you buy the more expensive one because it's better. Which, that could be said for anything. Car buying. What car would you recommend I buy? Well, you could either buy this Ford Fiesta, or you could buy the Lamborghini. Which one's going to be better? The Lamborghini, but it depends what your budget is at the end of the day. Yes, the Lamborghini looks much better and it's going to go super fast, and you're going to have a lot more fun with it, most likely. But is it something you should buy considering it's a £220,000 car? No. You're better off with a Ford Fiesta. So if you have the budget to go out and buy a 38-inch ultra-wide with brilliant panels, IPS gaming panels, then absolutely do it. If it's within your budget and you just want that extra screen real estate and you don't mind paying a big price premium for it, and you're someone who likes the best of the best and you don't mind spending that extra bit of cash just so you can have the best monitor you possibly can. Though if you're someone who's more on a budget and don't have the budget to spend top dollar, you're going to be fine with a 34-inch ultra-wide monitor. Yes, 34-inch ultra-wide monitors are not exactly cheap. You're not going to be missing out, and to be honest, 34-inch is still the sweet spot for monitors, and you're still going to have a brilliant game experience if you were to go for a 34-inch monitor. So my recommendation is, of course, depends on budget. But if you're an average gamer who just wants a good ultra-wide monitor without having to compromise on size and screen real estate, I will recommend you the 34-inch ultra-wide monitor. Purely the fact it's going to be cheaper, and if you're on a bit of a budget, it's not worth the extra price premium for the sake of 4 extra inches in an ultra-wide form factor. You're not going to notice it if you're constrained by budget. So anyway guys, let me know what you think in the comments down below of ultra-wide monitors. What sort of ultra-wide monitor would you want? Are you into ultra-wide monitors? And what form factor monitor are you currently using? Let me know in the comments down below, join the conversation. Yeah, let me know exactly just what you think of ultra-wide monitors. Is there a technology that you think is worth it for you? Or are you someone who would prefer multi-monitor setups of 16:9s? Or are you the type of person who wants one big 32:9 super ultra wide monitor to just say you've got, you know, the widest and the biggest? Let me know in the comments down below. Anyway guys, I hope you found today's video interesting, and I've been Matthew from Tech, and I hope to see you in the next video.